So especially tuberculosis, that was a major killer.
So these are all just a wee range of products here, Patricia.
Yes. Is that tooth powder?
And the reason I'm picking up this one is because it's got on it what became a kind of iconic, or if you like, trademark figure.
The trademark figure.
The Irish colleen.
The Irish colleen. The Browns brought that in. That was their most famous product of all, was colleen soap, and it was a toilet soap.
Right.
And they brought it in 1906.
And this is where the story of Brown Soapworks takes an almost surreal turn. 2 years after they launched their colleen range of products at the White City exhibition in London in 1908, Browns erected an entire village based on Donaghmore. But it was a Donaghmore that could have been dreamt up by an early Disney set designer. It cost a staggering £25,000, about $2.5 million in today's money. The village covered 10 acres and came with thatched cottages, a round tower, a blacksmith shop, a working farm, donkeys with turf creels, and lots of Irish colleens dressed in green skirts and red shawls. It even had its own graveyard and this might sound familiar, an exact replica of the Donaghmore High Cross. It also had a restaurant that seated 500 people. Because Browns had bought over McClinton Soap in Belfast in 1895, the mythical village was given the name Ballymaclinton. It appears to us to be a mixture of blarney and hard-nosed commercialism, but it was much more than that.
It was a fantastic village. It was really based on the village of Donaghmore.
And these are actual photographs from it, is it?
Actual photographs.
So these were taken in 1908, in other words?
They were taken in 1908 by Valentine's. You can see there's a replica of the old cross, that was right, in the diamond of the village.
Even a replica of the cross?
Yes.
There's an awful lot of little Irish colleens, or at least people dressed as Irish colleens along this green. Does that suggest there were a lot of local people who actually went over there?
Yes, there were 200 girls went over there. They were all hand-picked. And they were all dressed as colleens, and they were working in the industries, because this village was really basically to showcase all of Irish industry of that time.
200 of them?
200 of them, and 100 young men as well. They would all have been working in the village. They would have all have been living in those houses. You can see some of them are 2-storey high.
Yes.
They were from all over Ireland, and they were all hand-picked for their talents at all their various different trades.
And good behaviour.
Good behaviour, there had to be a lot, and good looks.
Well, listen, on that point, look at these absolute stunners.
That's a beautiful girl there,
Aren't they just gorgeous?
They're absolutely lovely, yes.
And they're again taken at the same time, they're contemporaneous.
They're contemporary, 1908. Now, a lot of those girls would have met, the exhibition lasted for 6 months, and a lot of those girls maybe met their future husband.
I see. I mean, the scale of the thing.
The scale of the thing was enormous. You can imagine all the food that was even needed to feed the 200 colleens and the 100 young men. They also had concerts every day, several times a day, and Mr. Amos, he was in charge of the concerts, and a lot of talented people, among colleens among them and among the young men. They would have been singing and dancing.
I see.
Yes, and giving shows.
So it was just much more, as you said at the beginning, much more than simply trying to export your goods and sell your wares. You were exporting a bit of Irish culture as well, as they defined it in those days, music, etc.
That's exactly correct, yes. Also, they made a lot of money at this exhibition. The proceeds went mainly to Lady Aberdeen's Fighting Fund Against Tuberculosis in Ireland.
Right.
And she would have been giving lectures. There was a lecture theatre for her where they would show lantern slides about how to look after your health, about healthy housing and unhealthy housing. And the Browns, they were great people, and they had already built artisan dwellings in Donaghmore for their workers.
It strikes me that there were kind of the same kind of aspirations that the Fry, Cadbury's, Rowntrees,
definitely.
The people who built model towns, model societies, model communities.
They were the same.
So they shared that kind of vision as well?
They shared that vision. They were very good people.
A bar of brown soap went a long way in those days, from Donaghmore to London to halfway around the world and back again. It lasted until the 1950s, but Donaghmore is still exporting more than its fair share of culture, art and talent these days. It does so from this state-of-the-art facility, the Torrent Complex. And inside this multi-purpose building, you'll find an organisation that's blossomed really, out of Donaghmore's prodigious achievements in the world of amateur drama, in the shape of the Bardic Theatre Group, and very often when the unmistakable shape of Sean Falloon was in the wings. Catherine O'Neill currently directs this high-tech, high-powered operation, but she's very aware that the existence of BEAM, explanation to follow, owes a great deal to the activity that gets a mention at the other end of the building.
Bardic Theatre came from the youth club, who in turn emerged from the GAA club back in the 60s. And it was in 82 then that the Bardic Theatre was formalised and went out in 82 and actually had a big success with the Derry of Anne Frank, which won the confined section of the All-Ireland drama.
So the very first year of being, in other words, you read up in competition at a national level. Is that the case? Yeah.
That's true. Although having said that, to be fair, the youth club had a talent group within the youth club itself, and I suppose they had a number of years' experience, not in theatre, but certainly in music and performance on stage.
Yeah. So you managed to also incorporate the same people who were involved in the footballing side, also involved in the youth club side, also involved in the drama.
That's right. The youth club came. The football club realised that they needed an indoor facility, so they formed the youth club. And then in turn came the Bardic Theatre.
And did you find your young, I mean, you were talking about youth clubs, you'd have been a youth yourself, or not far removed from being a youth back in those days, Sean, as well. So, but did you find that young ones were easily drawn into the drama? Because of the tradition of the youth club?
Yes. Donaghmore had a tradition of drama before this, back in the 40s and 50s, and I suppose that there always was an interest in drama. Aye. But it was a difficult mix at the start, to be honest. And but I suppose the Bardic Theatre had a recruitment base there. There was youth football and all of this, so at least the boys and the girls were more or less around you.
So from the early success of the Bardic Theatre Group, we jump ahead now to what we have nowadays, Catherine. I mean, this is an unimaginable facility. It's the mix that you have here is extraordinary, I think. Well, BEAM stands for, correct me if I'm wrong, Bardic Education, Arts, Music.
Media,
right? And you would get it wrong. But that's a huge, big, wide umbrella, isn't it? I mean, there's an awful lot of things involved in that.
Oh, there is. I mean, I think BEAM grew out of the success of the Bardic Theatre. It was established 10 years ago because what we found is that there was a lot of people in the village were gaining careers in the arts and in the media, and it was established as a community business for two reasons. One was to create employment in the community, and the second reason being to use the arts as a way of addressing different social and life issues with people of all ages and abilities.
That's where the education bit comes into it.
That's right. So what we do is we deliver every media within the arts: drama, dance, music, script writing, film production, throughout Northern Ireland and the border counties. So we're very proud of the work that we do delivering it. To date, over 100,000 young people have gone through our programmes.
100,000?
Oh, well over 100,000.
All over Northern Ireland.
That's right.
All over the country, in fact.
Absolutely.
Even beyond.
Absolutely.
Right? South and north as well.
And addressing a wide range of issues, working with health boards and councils and policing boards and schools, and using, I think people recognise that drama has now become a really interactive and an important, engaging way of communicating messages.
Even amongst footballers. I mean, they would have said, like, it's not cool enough or something like that.
Yeah.
But you've got yourselves here now a really cool set of premises, if you don't mind me saying. You know, I mean, your offices out there are state of the art. It looks like, I walked in there and I thought I was walking into a Hollywood agent's office or something like that. I mean,
we still make a mean cup of coffee now.
And I can personally attest to that. The coffee and the couch are saying, welcome to BEAM. But they're also saying, whatever we do in Donaghmore, we do it, as always, with style.